Okay, thank you. I'm going to declare a quorum and call the City of Groton Mayor and Council meeting.
Can we hold that for 1 second? It's
Okay.
not getting much volume.
Okay,
When Sean was here earlier, he was,
I understand. Let's see if we can get the volume set, because I know it's not my volume. Testing 1, 2. Test. Deb, does that help?
well, I can hear it here, it wasn't picking up on there, and I'm not quite sure why. Try again, please.
Okay, we're going to start over. Good evening.
Still not,
Are we connected?
on here, and I don't know why. I hope we didn't have a problem on that end with this,
Yeah, me too.
because I wouldn't know what to do. Well, let's, someone didn't hit the, well, let's just go with it, and if I can't get anything on here, then I will ask Sean to get me a copy off of the,
Okay. All right, we're going to start over. I am going to declare a quorum and call the City of Groton Mayor and Council meeting for Monday, September 21st to order. Clerk Patrick, please, let me start over. In response to the State of Connecticut Executive Order Number 7B, protection of public health and safety during COVID-19 pandemic and response, further suspension or modification of statutes, dated March 17, 2020, suspending in-person open meeting requirements. All public meetings will be closed to the public at this time. Public meetings will be available on Groton Municipal Television Channel 2 in real time or by calling 860-440-9974. With that, Clerk Patrick, please call the roll.
Present are Mayor Keith Hedrick, Deputy Mayor Jamal Beckford, Councilors Lisa McCabe, Reginald Stanford, Gwen Depot, Manila Ortiz, Rashad Carter, Clerk Deborah Patrick, excused as Finance Director Ron Uhas.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is please stand and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The next agenda item is recognition awards and memorials. I have some sad news to let you know, and if the council does not know, and that is that Al Restivo, who was the chair of Beach and Parks Committee, has resigned. But the good news is we have a proclamation. And the proclamation goes as follows. From the Office of the Mayor, City of Groton, Connecticut, proclamation in appreciation, Al Restivo. Whereas Al Restivo was appointed to the City of Groton Beach and Parks Committee in 1981, and whereas he was elected chairperson on the board in 1984 and has continued in that role for the last 36 years, and whereas during his tenure as chairperson of the Beach and Parks Committee, Mr. Restivo acted with integrity, respect, and a great deal of responsibility to better the City of Groton, in particular as Beach and Parks. His tenure ending October 1st of 2020, the year of the COVID-19 pandemic, came with unprecedented changes to our recreation climate, and whereas Alfred moved to the city in 1956 to take a job at Electric Boat, raised 5 children in the City of Groton, and retired in 1995, he was very active in baseball in Groton, coached Little League for 14 years with 9 championships, as well as being part of the coaching staff of the Little League team that won the 1968 Connecticut State Little League title. Al went on to start the Groton 16-18 Baseball League in 1971 through 1979. This league became the Groton 16-18 Babe Ruth League, of which Al was president from 1971 to 2013. He was the City of Groton's 2010 Jacqueline B. Nixon Award recipient for his vast volunteering efforts. He also has been involved with Sacred Heart Catholic Church and is currently a member of the Fitch High School Athletic Hall of Fame Committee. Therefore, be it resolved that the Mayor and City Council wish to recognize Alfred Restivo for his 39 years of dedicated service and leadership to the City of Groton. Dated at Groton, Connecticut, this 21st day of September 2020, signed Keith Hedrick, Mayor, City of Groton. So, Al, thank you very much for your service. You will be missed. Al will be at the next meeting. Is that right, Mary?
The next Beach and Parks?
Yeah. Is that no?
October 1st.
Well, October 1st you're done, but at the next Beach and Parks meeting, a replacement will be voted on.
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Do we have a microphone? Do you want to, Al, would you like to say?
Yeah, I'd like to just say a couple of words. Do something I didn't do 39 years ago. Okay, I just like to.
Hold the mic.
Excuse me?
Microphone?
Need the microphone.
Or would you like it back in the stand? Like it's not-
Yeah,
Okay.
not just this.
Sorry, we'll get through this.
Just like a meeting.
It is, it's just like a meeting, Al.
Excuse me?
Just like a meeting.
I know. Okay, I'd like to thank you all, everyone, mayor, the council, and past and present members of the Beach and Park Committee, and Mary Hill, our director. It's been a pleasure and an honor to have served the residents of the city, especially the youth, with all the programs that we've been involved with during my years with the committee. I consider the beach a jewel of the area, and I'm sure it'll continue to be that way with the committee moving on in the future. And thank you all very much for the proclamation, I guess it's called.
Absolutely.
For recognizing me. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Very much.
I mean, if you think about this, 39 years, that's a career, right? I mean, if you put it in work terms, that's a career, or for some people, it's a couple careers. But, so that's how long he was involved with Beach and Parks, and 36 of that was for the chair. So do we have anything we can take a picture with?
I'll take it.
Okay.
The odd thing mentioning is that the 39 years would be at the end of December, so it's like just 3 months shy. At EB, I retired at 39 years plus 3 months. And I looked at it, I said, that's kind of odd.
So that all adds up, right?
It is.
I mean, it's close enough. I'm a retired Navy guy, so it's close enough for government.
Right. I feel like I've been in the Navy wearing a uniform.
Mary, what do you want to do?
Okay, you can both of you in front of the table and your counsel can be behind. Right? Like, me.
And do this, we can hold this. We have our masks on, so we're pretty good.
Just our hand.
Can you get the council in there, or am I blocking them out?
Yeah, I'm nervous.
I know it's like in the clips when I do. You're all right.
Need a real camera.
I mean, it's blocking. Okay. I got it. Yep.
Al, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. He's moving. Tina's like right across. Throw a rock to his new place.
Yeah.
Just not in Groton City.
Okay, the next thing is Constitution Week. So I have a proclamation for Constitution Week from the Office of the Mayor, City of Groton, Connecticut. Proclamation, Constitution Week, September 17th, 2020 through September 23rd, 2020. Whereas September 17th, 2020 marks the 233rd anniversary of the drafting of the Constitution of the United States of America by the Constitution Convention, and whereas it is fitting and proper to read, study, and preach the greatest document of human liberty and to protect the freedoms set forth in the Bill of Rights, and whereas it is a privilege and duty of the American people to commemorate this day and to accord official recognition of this magnificent document and its memorable anniversary. And whereas Public Law 915 guarantees the issuing of the proclamation each year by the President of the United States of America, designating September 17th through September 23rd as Constitution Week. Therefore, be it resolved that I, Keith Hedrick, Mayor of the City of Groton, hereby proclaim September 17th, 2020 through September 23rd, 2020 as Constitution Week, and ask our citizens to reaffirm the ideals of the framers of the Constitution had in 1787 by vigilantly protecting the freedoms guaranteed to us through this guardian of our liberties. Given under my hand this day, this 21st day of September 2020, signed Keith Hedrick, Mayor, City of Groton. So that's the proclamation. Are there any other recognitions, awards, and memorials from the council or from anyone else? Okay. Receipt of citizens' petitions. Receipt of citizens' petitions is the portion of the council meeting where the council welcomes comments from citizens. To address the council, please call 860-440-9974. Clearly state your name and address. Each presentation should be limited to 5 minutes or less, and citizens should, if possible, submit emailed or written comments. Presentations should be related to matters pertinent to the City of Groton. City councilors will only ask questions in order to clarify the speaker's presentation and can respond during the responses to citizens' petitions portion of the meeting. Okay? We will pause for a few seconds. Okay, I hear no citizens' petitions. We will skip response to citizens' petitions and comments. Next is approval of the minutes. I would like to note that the minutes that are listed here, that date is wrong. It should be September 8th, 2020. Mayor and council meeting minutes. That was the date that we had our meeting. So with that, I'll take a motion to accept the September 8th, 2020 Mayor and Council meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries. Communications and reports. Councilor McCabe.
No reports, sir.
Councilor Sanford.
Nothing to report at this time.
Councilor Depot.
Nothing to report.
Councilor Ortiz.
No, sir.
Okay. Councilor Carter.
Nothing to report.
Deputy Mayor Beckford.
On the 17th, I took a tour of the new middle school. It was, it's an impressive building. It seems like they've thought of everything. And it looks to be much more modernized than what we had before. So I think it should be exciting for our kids to grow up in that kind of environment.
I agree. I mean, I was there as well, and I was looking at the things, and I'm like, man, I never had this when I was a kid. But then again, I haven't been a kid for a couple generations, right? I mean, couple careers, if you will. So, but, you know, so that's that. Anything else? Okay. So communication and reports, I want to talk about a couple of things. if you've been down Eastern Point Road or Route 349, as it is called by the state, you will notice that there's been a lot of work being done on that road. They're doing a mill and overlay. So they're currently finishing up the milling process. They haven't done the Clarence B. Sharp part of that yet, but when I drove by this afternoon on Eastern Point Road, they're still milling in that area there. So starting, let's see, it should be this weekend. Let me check my calendar. Starting this weekend, they should start paving, and they're going to pave around the clock. So once again, it's going to be noisy because they're going to be paving, they're going to be working around the clock. This is a state project. The city did not have any input on this project, but we're trying to get as much information from the state as we can so we can get it out to everybody that's out there and get it out to the counselors. As we get the information, we will get it out to you. On October 5th, there is a public hearing by the state because they are going to do something called a road diet. And a road diet is when you reduce the number of lanes in a road. So on Eastern Point Road, from Rainville, which is actually Chester at the EB Firehouse, all the way down to the Pfizer entrance, it is currently 2 southbound lanes and 1 northbound lane. The state wants to reduce that down to 2 lanes with wider shoulders, 1 northbound, 1 southbound lane. The city has went on record and said that we don't think it should be done now. We are for the road diet, but at a later time. And the reason I'm against it, and my staff is against it now, is because of the work that's being done down at Electric Boat. Electric Boat is going to, in the next 2 weeks, Electric Boat and their subcontractor, AECom, is going to start with, I don't know, 300,000 tons or something like this of cement to lay the foundation for the pilings that they put on. So that's going to be heavy loads on the road and a lot of trucks on that road. And if you only have one lane, and then the trucks are backed up to get into that contractor's gate, that's going to be a problem, and that's a concern that I have. I have notified Electric Boat. They are writing the state this week. I've notified Pfizer. Pfizer is also not for the road diet at this time. They're going to be writing the state this week. I have notified all the residents on Eastern Point Road proper there in that area near Electric Boat, because that's going to be additional backups and noise and things they have to deal with, and have asked them to participate as well. And we will, and so on October 5th, we will also publicly state our opposition to this, and we'll see where that goes. Again, I'm not against the road diet. I'm against the timing of it right now during this heavy construction period, because Building 600 is going to be built, and then also in front of Building 600 near the road, there's a new building that's going to be built there. It's about 100 feet long, approximately 90 feet tall. There's going to be the new Coates facility and a new facility for the off-crews. So, and they're going to put a gate there. That's going to be the main entrance gate, and that's going to be the main entrance to people that are working out of the 600 building. So now is not a good time for that. Second thing I want to talk to you about is rats. So we had Les Light in here a couple weeks ago to talk about rodent control and those kind of things. Facebook, and especially Groton Next Door, has been filled with comments regarding rats and rat sightings and rat infestations and the rat invasion, and oh my God, rats everywhere, rats. Okay, there are rats in the city of Groton. City of Groton is over 200 years old, so you're going to have some. We're on the water. You're going to have some. I agree. We have seen an increase this year. The problem with this is if you have rats in your yard or on your property, You have to take responsibility for them. Whether you like it or not, whether you think the city should be coming in or not, that is not the city's responsibility. We've talked to Let's Light Health District. I talked to Steve Mansfield this afternoon because I was evaluating getting people together, residents together to talk about the rat issues and where their rats are. I shared a post this afternoon on my post on the Groton Community Forum and EPPOA to get the information out there. There is a 3-page brochure from Let's Light on what to do, and basically it's this: get rid of the food, get rid of the water, get rid of the harborage. Okay? If you need help with that, we can help you with that. But people on Facebook are saying, what's the city doing? The city's not doing anything. And I ask, what is it you want me to do? And there's silence. You have to fix this. So here's the deal. I'm not going to send Public Works into your yard to clean your yard up to find your rats. That's not what Public Works is paid to do. That's not what you want tax money to do. And frankly speaking, you do not want the government to overreach and go into your property. You don't want that. I know it is frustrating. I know that you guys are tired. There's been a lot going on. COVID has killed us. We are in drought 2 conditions. I posted that. We just went into drought 2 conditions, although the good news in Groton Utilities Water Service territory, we're at 77% capacity. So we have a lot of water, and you can thank our founding fathers and mothers for that, for being smart enough to buy all those reservoirs. Westerly has triple E. East Lyme and Old Lyme has rabid bats. I mean, there's been a lot going on. This has been a challenging year for all of us. And now we have the rat issue. Some people are saying it's coming from Electric Boat. I don't know that it is or isn't. I do know that the construction at Electric Boat has displaced some of the normal predators of the rats. And if the rat doesn't have a predator, then it's going to continue to proliferate. The other thing is, because the restaurants are not serving people, they don't have excess food waste to throw away in the dumpster, and therefore the food source for the rats is not there because people are picking up and taking it home. So the rats are looking for a food source. If you have bird feeders, if you have cat food, dog food that you're leaving out, those are food sources for the rats. If you have vegetables, if you have fruits that are dropping from the trees onto the ground, those are food sources for the rats, and they're going to come. So please eliminate the food source, eliminate water, and eliminate harborage. Put out baits, put out traps. And then together, if everybody does their due diligence, then we'll get our arms around this, and this will not be a problem anymore. Now, on city properties, we have baits and traps, and I asked Mary Hill, who's our Parks and Rec director, to talk to our exterminators, and our exterminator has said that we have not seen an increase in the rat population in our traps and our baits. And generally, when I talk to other towns, when I went to the Council of Governments and talked to them, other municipalities are seeing increases in rodent populations as well, particularly those adjacent to the water. So this is not abnormal, but we're not talking about hundreds or thousands of rats. We're not talking about that. But sometimes when people have an option and have an avenue on Facebook or on Groton Next Door, they tend to panic and they tend to exaggerate. Okay? We do not have an invasion. We do not have an infestation. If you have questions and want to reach out to me or to my office, please call me at 860-446-4103. 860-446-4103. Or you can email me at mayor@cityofgroton-ct.gov. mayor@cityofgroton-ct.gov. Okay, I hope that this clears up the issue regarding the rat situation. Thank you very much, and good luck, and we're going to get through this. Okay, committee referrals. Are there any committee referrals from the council?
No.
Okay. New business. Councilor McCabe.
Resolution R-20-9-104. Therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and council approve the appointment of Leslie Green as city planner for the city of Groton effective September 22nd, 2020. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. The council had the opportunity to meet Leslie last week. Do you have any, is there any further discussion on this agenda item, this resolution?
And no further discussion, just happy to have Leslie joining our team.
I'm excited.
Absolutely.
I am very excited. Okay, Councilor Depot.
In the resolution,
Did we do this wrong again?
it says August
Oh, it's-
2nd.
Yes, it does. Look at that. All right, the resolution's right, but the
The where?
whereas just above that should be September.
Oh,
Thank you. We'll make sure that correction is identified for the record. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries. Okay, Councilor Stanford.
Resolution -20-9-105. Therefore, be resolved that the mayor and council provisionally authorize and approve a contract with New England Recreational Group, P.O. Box 1503, Westboro, Massachusetts, for servicing installations on the playground at Eastern Point Beach based on the price of $30,473.00 and an added contingency for a total expenditure not to exceed $33,520.00 to be paid from capital reserve funds. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This has not been brought before you in the past. I think we may have talked about it topically, about the playscape at the beach. Okay, that's what this is for. I will get Mary Hill, who's the Parks and Rec Director, to come up. And Mary, if you could address this, please.
Do I have to do anything to this?
No.
Okay. Good evening. So this was a project that was put in my budget for capital improvement. The current safety surfacing at the playscape at the beach is not up to safety standard. There's other products you can use. You could use wood chip, you could use additional sand. Sand gets kind of in the water, near the water, it gets damp, it gets hard, when it holds its moisture. There's the wood mat type of ground covering that we have here at the park. But wood and sand, it starts drifting away. The kids start picking it up in their buckets, bringing it to the sand. We would have wood chip in our sand. So we went with the poured in place product. This is the same product they have at the playground at Peconic Plains Park. So it is actually makes the playscape a little more accessible because it would be a firmer foundation of safety surfacing under that playscape. Been working. The reason why I bring it to you guys tonight is because this has got a temperature sensitivity to it in regards to pouring it. It can't be poured when it's going to get below 40 degrees. It has to be, they ideally like it around 65 degrees with the day that they pour, and they like it to stay above 40 so it cures properly. I mean, it would still cure at below 40, but it would take longer. The process takes longer. I've been working with the company that has the state bid since June to get this priced to where I need it to be based on what I budgeted. So we're going to do a lot of the excavating. We're going to we have to lower the ground covering 6 inches and put some gravel in before they put the port in place, so it has the proper foundation. So we're going to do that work with the parks crew, and then they're going to come in and inspect that, and then they'll come and pour it. It will all be enclosed with a rubberized curbing so that it stays in place.
Would you mind passing that around so they can get
This?
an idea? Yes, please.
We're going with a light blue, though. We're not going with the tan color.
Right. So that's just to give you an idea of the feel. What you're going to find, and when you do the research on this, is so when you're doing this now, you're like, oh my gosh, that's awful hard. But once it's in place, there is a gift to it. It is more energy absorbent, so that when a child falls, it's more instead of hitting a hard surface, there's more energy absorption to that, and so that's why we're going with that product. Councilor Depot.
I was actually going to ask if it was the same as the Pequannock Plains. I've been there with little kids, and that is much nicer than sand or other stuff, so I'm really happy that we're getting that done. I think it'd be a big improvement.
And that's good. And for those that are out, watching television, this is continued improvement for the beach, right? This is, the beach is one of our gyms, so we are continuing the improvement of the beach area and the playscapes for the citizens of Groton, for the city of Groton, but also for people that come to visit the beach. Any other questions or comments on this? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
Okay, Deputy Mayor Beckford.
Yes. Resolution 20-9-91. Therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and council approve the promotion of police officer Paul Ruddy to the rank of corporal in the City of Groton Police Department, effective September 9th, 2020. I so move.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second. This is the second motion and second that we've had for this motion. For the council, I apologize. For everybody that's watching television, you're saying, wait a minute, I thought you guys did this last week. Well, what happened was we got this far, and then I opened the floor for discussion. I turned it over to Chief Spellman. Chief Spellman did his thing, and then Clerk Patrick did the pinning, did the swearing, and then the wife, the girlfriend, pinned him on, and we all, I did. I lost control of my meeting, and then we went and did the pictures, and the next thing you know, we sat down, and we go on to the next thing. The next day, Clerk Patrick comes to me and said, we have a small problem. And I'm like, what is that? He said, we never approved the promotion of Officer Ruddy. So that's why this is here. Now, this is an administrative issue, technical issue. It did not impact pay. It did not impact his performance. It did not impact any of his duties or responsibilities, those kind of thing. But I stick my hand up because as the chair, that's one of the few things I'm supposed to do, and I did not do that. I got caught it. So we are now, I'm going to open the floor for discussion. Any other discussion? Okay, hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions. We now have a proper vote, and Officer Ruddy is now officially, administratively, a corporal. Okay? With that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you, council, and thank you that are watching. Thank you, Deb. Thank you, Leslie, and thank you, Linda.
Happy birthday, Linda.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Nobody knows nothing.
Kept you late on your birthday?
I know. You should make that